Om Shuklam Varadharam Vishnum Shashivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasannavadanam Dhyayet Sarvabhignopashantaye Saraswati Namastubhyam Varade Kamarupini Vidyarambham Karishyami Siddhir Bhavatu me sada Yenaksharasamamnyayam adhigamya maheshwarat kritsnam vyakaranam proktam tasmai paninaye namaha vakyakaram vararuchim bhashyakaram patanjalim paninim sutrakarancha pranatosmi Munitrayam Vagarthaviva Sampraktau Vagarthah Pratipattaye Jagatah Pitarau Vande Parvati Parameshwarau Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om. Namaste everyone, welcome to class. Happy Navratri. So on the screen, we are doing some Sandhi edition. This is the Sanskrit edition of Sandhi edition. So we have to look at what is on the left first, right? So we've noticed that some rules we can go over, that when we have avarna on the left side, a or long a, then it's going to be guna or vriddhi, right? We know that. If it's any other vowel except for a, then it's going to be yan sandhi as of now, right? So if we look at kritva etat, kritva etat. So kritva etat. So we have a, so avarna meaning a, which is vriddhi, right? So if we look at the chart, I can show you here. So if you look at the chart, avarna meaning any of these diphthongs, h, a, o, I, ow, then you get vriddhi. So we get kritvaitat I, right? Kritvaitat. Okay, gacchati plus iti. So we have e plus e. They are looking the same. So savarna. So there, gacchati iti. So it becomes dirgha. It's dirgha sandhi. Becomes long. Gacchati iti. E plus e equals e. Nadi plus asti. Now I don't have akara or avarna on the left side, right? I have ik on the left side. So I have e and then I have a. So now I'm going to have yan sandhi. So e plus a is yakara. So nadyasti. Nadyasti. And then sura plus ishwaraha. Again, I have akara. So it's going to be guna or vriddhi. And then I have e. E is a simple vowel. So that's going to be guna. Guna. So sureshwaraha. A plus E equals A. All right. So hopefully we're doing okay. Hopefully we're doing okay with this. Just trying to refresh us. Maybe we should throw in some Visarga Sandhi to refresh us for Visarga Sandhi next time. Yeah? Do you remember that we did Visarga Sandhi? All right. So we'll close this off. Let's chant our Maheshwara Sutra. Om A I Un Rilik A Ong I I, ouch, haya, varatha, lana, nyama, garna, nam, jabhanya, gardha, dash, jaba, garda, dash, ka, pa, cha, ta, tha, cha, da, tav, ka, pai, sha, sha, sar, hal, iti maheshwarani sutrani. Oh. Okay, so if we look at our chart, so far we've seen this whole first half, right? So when I have avarna or ik on the left side, and when I have ik or h on the right side. Okay, so we've seen this whole first top half with dirgha sandhi, dirgha, guna, vriddhi, and yan sandhi. Now this whole bottom is going to be what we call Ayavāyāva-sandhiḥ. What's that we're going to learn today? So you can open up your sandhi book to the next section, Ayavāyāva-sandhiḥ. So this is right after our yan sandhi. All right, so you'll see this on the screen. So your page should look like this at the top. Number 5, all right. So first of all, how to pronounce the name of this sandhi? Okay, so here's actually a breakdown of what the letters are. I, of, I, of. Okay, so I, of is actually what we're calling the whole sandhi. So we're calling the sandhi like this so that we remember what it's saying. So you can repeat after me. Ayavāyāva-sandhiḥ. Okay, so too short. I, of, I, and then long. I, of. So ready? Ayavāyāva-sandhiḥ. Ayavāyāva-sandhiḥ. Okay, so Medaji doesn't like when we do this, but sometimes we call it Ayadi Sandhi, just to make it short. Adi means etc. So etc. Sandhi, just a shorter way, but it's better if we say Ayavāyāva, just so that we actually remember what is in that Adi, in that etc. Right? Okay. All right, so let's look at this. So when H is immediately followed by ach. Okay, when H is immediately followed by ach, then that H is substituted by I, of, respectively. All right, so what are we talking about? This chart right here will help us, okay? When I have H, now what is H? H is our diphthongs. A, O, I, ow. It's also right here. A, O, I, ow. Okay, so when I say H, don't think I'm thinking of like H for Houston. I'm not saying H for Houston. I'm saying H for A, O, I, ow. All right, so when H is followed by ach. What is ach? I hope we know this by now. Ach, we're doing ach sandhi. Ach means all vowels, right? All the vowels. This is in our Maheshwara Sutra chart, right? H, A, O, I, ow. And then ach is all the vowels. Okay, so when I say H, it just means these diphthongs. When I say ach, it means all the vowels. All right, so going back, not to give you whiplash. All right, so we have when H is followed by ach, then these four will replace respectively. All right, so now how do we know which replaces what? Here it tells you directly, okay? When it's A on the left side, okay, notice how we said Ayavāyāva. It's all in order. So the first one, A, it gets replaced by I, the first, right? I of. So A gets replaced by I. O gets replaced by of. O and V, right? Those are similar. They kind of go together always. I gets replaced by I. Those are two different things. I gets replaced by I. And O gets replaced by of. Okay, so H has four things in it, and each of the four is matched up, just like I've written here, with one of the I of. Okay. So let's look at the first one. Okay. So remember, we're saying H, which when H precedes any vowel. Okay, so we're going to take the first H. The first H is A. So when A is preceding any vowel, it's going to get replaced by I. I. All right, so we see here. Hare plus aha. Hare plus aha. I have A followed by a. So that A, only the A is going to get replaced by I. So I get har plus I, aha. I get hari-śabdha. We'll actually see this today because we're doing hari-śabdha. Hari-śabdha 1, 3 is hari-śabdha. It's made like this. Hari becomes hare, then hare plus aha becomes hari-śabdha. Hopefully we'll get some time to get to hari-śabdha. All right, number 2. Hare, this is the 4-1 hari-śabdha. Hare plus A becomes haraye, because A, when H precedes any vowel, then that A is going to get replaced by I, becoming haraye. Ne plus ati. Ne comes from ni dhatu, to lead, right? So ni dhatu becomes ne, then you add the suffix ati, and then it becomes nayati. He, she, it leads. Game plus ati becomes gamayati, to make someone go. All right, so look at this hard. Any questions that are coming up with this? All right, let's do one more, and then we can do some exercises, and then we'll come back. Okay, yeah, there's one question. Nilemanji, go ahead. You're unmuted.
Yeah, this game, you had that. Can you please? Yeah, thank you. Game plus ati. Game is not gam dhatu, right? Gachati, is that different?
So it is. What it is you add this little this suffix e called nich, which means to make someone do that. To make someone do.
Because
so if I Gum plus E becomes game. So to make someone go. So gamayati, to make someone go.
Because it could be seventh case, right? Like Rame.
Yeah.
So that
could. But this
confused me.
No. So it can't. Oh, wait, so game could be 7-1, yes.
Yeah.
But then you would never really get this form at the end if it was a noun like that. But yeah, this could look like rame.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Okay, thanks.
Yes. All right, so we'll go to, game is the verb. So that's why, in case you didn't know that, could like rama, but we don't, you would never get this form if it was like a noun. Let's do one more and then we'll do some exercises. So we see H, right? So H consists of A, O, I, ow. So A we saw, now O, when O is preceded by any vowel, you get, right? I, of. So we get of, the second one in the series. So guro plus aha becomes good of aha, because that O gets replaced by of aha. So we'll see this guru shabda. Guru shabda 1-3 is guravaha. Guru plus a. O gets replaced by of. Gurave namaha. Right? Shri Gurave namaha. Bo plus ati. So bhu dhatu becomes bo. It takes guna. And then o plus a becomes of, becomes bhavati. That's how bhavati is formed, by the way. Okay. Let's look at some examples of these two for now, okay? So we've seen all of this so far. So J, can you tell me in the chat, J plus ati becomes what? Looking good. Yeah, so looking good. So it's, yep, exactly. So A gets replaced by, again, you have to remember, I of. The first one is I. So A gets replaced by I. So jayati. Okay. Someone wins, to declare victory, to win. Shre plus ati. That one, yeah. Okay, let's do one more. Yeah. Shre plus ati. Shrayati. Yeah. Shrayati. All right. Now let's look at number 5 and 6. Dro plus iti. Dro plus ati. I hope everyone can try to get it in there. Let me know if I'm moving too fast. Yep. So dro plus ati is dravati. Answers in the book. Perhaps it is. I don't know. I don't see it. Dravati, to clean. Okay. Sro plus ati. We don't need to do this one. I think we got it by now, right? O gets replaced by av, so it becomes sravati. Okay, sravati. All right, so let's go back to the drawing board. Let's go to the next one. Okay. I, so A, O, I, ouch, right? So I is the third one of the series. So we have I, when I is preceded by any vowel, it becomes I. So nai plus akaha becomes nayakaha, leader, right? Ni dhatu, to lead, becomes nai, takes vriddhi, and then nai, when meaning that becomes I, so nayakaha. So like Sanjeev and Prema Nayakaha. Go plus ati, gayati, right? Because O gets replaced by, O is next to O, I mean, sorry, not O. I is next to so I gets replaced by I. It sounds very similar too, right? I and I. So gayati, to sing. Okay. Now H is A, O, I, ow. Ow, ow. So ow, when preceded by a vowel, gets replaced by av, right? This is H, so it's a Ayavāyāva-sandhiḥ. Ayavāyāva-sandhiḥ. I'm repeating like 100 times so that we can get it in right. Ayavāyāva. Okay, so O gets replaced by av. So bo plus aka, O gets replaced by av, bhavakaha. So purifier. So a purifier is called bhavakaha. Aso plus iti, O gets replaced by av, asaviti. Okay, no, sorry. This should say, yeah, asaviti. Yeah, asaviti. That's correct. All right, so we've seen all four. Now let's do the rest of our exercises here. Number 7, dhyai plus ati. Can you tell me in the chat? Dhyai plus ati. So it's, try to not look at the book because you can get the order A, O, I, ow, then I, of. Harprasadji, I see you have a question. I'll take it in a moment. Yeah, so looking good. So, right, it should say, I know some of you can't make that long so I'm assuming that you know it's what it is. So it should be dhyayati, long so dhyayati. Dhyayati iva, lelayati iva. Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. Okay, so Harprasadji, you have a question? You have to unmute yourself. I can't hear you yet. I think you're still muted.
Okay.
There we go.
The Purva Pada and the Para Pada, I mean, the Purva may be a dhatu or may not be a dhatu, right?
It may be a dhatu, correct.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it is.
Not always,
I'm sorry.
not always a dhatu though. Doesn't have
So
to be.
it can be either a subanta or a tinganta.
It can be a dhatu,
Yeah,
or it could be a pratipadika.
pratipadika. Okay. What is that?
It
What
could
is,
be also a subanta as well.
yeah.
Yeah, or a tinganta as well. Yeah, you can have all of those variations.
Okay.
All
What
right, go
is
ahead.
akka?
Akka. So akka it's a suffix. We haven't learned this yet. It's when someone is a doer of that, like a karta, a doer. So po means to purify.
Right.
So when I add akka, it means the purifier. We add
Right.
it's like er suffix.
Yeah.
Like when I drive.
Pavakaha is a cook, right?
Bhava can also mean cook, because
Yeah.
when you cook, you purify.
Okay. Okay.
Exactly.
Very good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep. So it's just like drive plus er is driver. Anything plus akka is like adding er. It's like doer of that action. Okay. Okay. So I think we're okay with this. Just we can say it all together. Number 12. Lo plus akka. You don't need to type it in the chat. Lavaka. Lavaka. Aso plus atma. Asavatma. Asavatma. Ubho plus api. Ubhavapi. Okay. So we're looking pretty good at this. Any other questions? All right, so let's do some of these. These must be a little bit more difficult. Okay, so let's look at shayana. Shayana. Okay, so we have to figure out, where do you think the Ayavāyāva happened? You see? I'll do the first one. Shayana, I see I, right? I see I in the middle there. So how do we make I? We get it from A. Right? A. So I can have she plus ana. Sorry, not she. Sorry. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, she plus ana. Yeah, I am correct with that, right? Yes. Okay. She plus ana is shayana, right? H. A-O, I-ow, and I-of. So shayana. Shai plus is the same thing. We have the ksha, and then we have I, right? So it must have come from A plus a. Kshaya. Okay. Now, can you tell me in the chat what number 5? Number 5, bhavana, must have been. Bhavana must have been what plus what? Okay, so notice that the first side has to be H, A-O-I-ow. So it must be not bu, it must be bo. Bo plus ana is bhavana. Correct. Bo plus ana is bhavana. All right. So let's transition a little bit. This is going to be a little bit of a hard transition. You don't need to switch in your books right now. We're going to go switch off of this. Homework is to finish the ones we haven't done on this page on the exercise. if you haven't done this already. Okay. I want to quickly go to hari-śabdha just to start looking at it. We'll spend more time with it next time. This is in your book 1, page 103. You don't need to open the book because it's all there on the screen, but page 103, if you want to note that down. I wanted to touch this so that we can start from here next time. And why we wanted to get through Ayavāyāva-sandhiḥ is because that's really the completion. Well, there's one more after this, but one or two. There's one exception and one more rule in Achsandhi, but that's really the bulk of it, as we've already seen. Guna, Vriddhi, Yan, and Ayavāyāva-sandhiḥ. These four really take you pretty far. All right. Now, some of these concepts help us with hari-śabdha. Okay, hari-śabdha, you can repeat after me. It's slightly different than masculine, or like rama-śabdha or like jnana-śabdha neuter. It's its own kind of characteristic. So notice how we are looking. We're back. We are back in punlinga. We're back in masculine now. We're no longer in neuter, okay? So we were in neuter before, now we're back in masculine. We're looking at Hari and Guru. First, we're gonna look at Hari, which is a name for Lord Vishnu. Okay, so this is hari-śabdha, ikaranta, e ending, punlinga, masculine, shabdaha word. So, ikaranta, punlinga, shabdaha. Okay. You can repeat after me. Harihi, hari, harayaha. Harim, hari, harin. Harina, haribhyam, haribihi. Haraye, haribhyam, haribhyaha. Harehe, haribhyam, haribhyaha. Harehe, haryoho. Again, that's haryoho, harinam. Haro, haryoho, harishu. He hare, he hari, he harayaha. Okay. So already probably off the bat, you realize that some of these you might look somewhat familiar, like we see nam, we see su, we see, like nakara at the end of 2, 3. Some of these are a little bit, there's some similar characteristics, but it's pretty different than rama-śabdha, right? So this is one that we just have to get down pat. So we're going to spend, we're going to try to repeat this as much as we can. What I would do is, for homework, what I would do is, if you have a smartphone or a tablet or a computer, what you can do is record your voice, right? For example, if you have memo on the iPhone, there's voice, you can search voice memos, and you can record yourself saying this chart. So how I would do it is harihi, hari, harayaha, then give some time, give a little space, and then say the next line. And go slowly and repeat it and record yourself so that you can, maybe while cooking, while walking, you can remember Hari. Wherever you are, Harinam eva kevalam. Hari's nam is enough for moksha. No. But it's a good japa, but it also helps us with our Sanskritam. Okay, we're going to see some particular characteristics of this in the next class, which are all included here. For example, we get dirga, we get ay from Ayavāyāva, we get guna, we get yan. All of those do come into here. So this does explain why some of the forms come up. At the same time, this doesn't, like, to memorize these rules is just as hard as to just memorize the whole chart, to be honest, right? So we will go through these, but they won't necessarily always help us to recall the chart. So just something to know. Okay. Now, but these rules are also pretty similar for guru-śabdha. Okay, which I don't have up here actually. So what I would do is so the homework is to look at hari-śabdha, record your voice if you can, and then also look at some of these common vocabulary words. Okay, these are very common words we see in Sanskrit. Agni, Upadi, Granthi, Vanhi, Atiti, these are all common words. These are good to know as well, just to look through these, become more familiar, and go through them all, okay? We'll finish now. We'll take a 5-minute break, come back at 8:11, 8:12, and we'll start with our Vedanta class. If you have any questions, you can let me know in the chat. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Guru Bhyo Namaha Hari Om.